Welcome to Wednesday. It's a hump day, April 26, 2023. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Also being brought to you by WYDOT. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. Well, before we get to the forecast, I wanted to just briefly highlight some data that has come in here recently to talk about the snow cover and the snowpack and just kind of comparing what has happened this year compared to other years. Now, in 2001, there was new satellite technology that was put into place to help record snow cover across the globe. And so we don't have a very long satellite record of snow cover, at least the high resolution stuff, but it does go back to 2001. And at the end of March, if you were to look here at this graph, the percentage of snow cover across the region, pretty amazing. That red line basically means 100%, which would be the average. So you can see all of those states listed there above average. And if you look at March of 2023, it ranks as the third highest snow water equivalent year. How much water is in the snowpack? Ranks third over the last 3 decades, going back to 2001. So we all know how snowy it was in many areas and how big the snowpack was. And this new data here really supports that. Now, on to the forecast. It's going to be active through Friday. Then a warmer weekend pattern is coming. We're going to continue to see rain in parts of Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and northeastern New Mexico today, while the rest of the northern and central Rockies, Wyoming, parts of Montana, Nebraska, the Dakotas kind of have a little bit of a break in the weather today. So that's going to lead to a little bit of a warm up. But we've got this quick moving cold front that's coming in from the north. That's going to sweep through, bringing rain and snow showers, some thunderstorms, colder temperatures, and wind and kind of blustery conditions right back to the same areas that this last system has affected as we get into Thursday and Thursday night and into Friday morning. Then we're going to see a nice warming trend come in and commence this weekend. As we have been discussing, as we get into the first few days of May, it is going to be warming up, and that's going to lead to the big melt. Melting is going to really get going in many of the snowpack areas, especially in the Great Basin, the Rockies, the West Coast ranges. Going to be a lot of melting in the next week to 2 weeks with this warmer trend coming. So that'll be something that we're going to need to keep an eye on. May showers and May thunderstorms will start to come into play mid to late next week as we're getting later in the spring and we start talking about patterns that bring those afternoon showers and thunderstorms. We kind of see that mid to late next week, and we'll show you that. Today's satellite imagery shows the storm system that came through many areas up here yesterday is now going to head east-southeast along this track. We've got rain and thunderstorms developing out ahead of it. Winter wheat country in southwest Kansas, eastern and southeastern Colorado, the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, northeastern New Mexico picking up badly needed rain. Unfortunately, Nebraska, parts of northern Kansas here kind of missing out, unfortunately, on the rain with this last system as it's just taking a path not to those areas there. You can see the clearing up here behind the system, but this cloud bank up here is part of this next wave that's headed south coming in right behind that one. Clear skies, high pressure here is developing in the far west. And there you can see the high pressure along the west coast, the low going through northeastern New Mexico. It's this area of low pressure here that gets driven south quickly tonight and into Thursday. Today, this is what's going to happen today through tomorrow morning. You can see the heavier rain down in this area right here, right in the heart of some of the worst drought areas. Good news there. Then tomorrow night and into Friday morning, this wave heads southeast just like this, right behind this other low that has moved on through here lately, while high pressure straddles the west coast, bringing nice weather there. This system will move through, producing a wide swath along the divide and east of the divide of rain and snow shower activity. Now, it won't be as extensive as heavy as the last one, but it will be cool and moist with shower activity in many areas, basically from early tomorrow up here in the north, then spreading south tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night into Friday morning as it rolls on through. Then you can see here west of the divide, very little going on with that big high coming on in. But this high pressure area is going to slowly migrate east, and that's going to lead to better weather by the weekend. And yes, it's going to be cold enough that more snow, yes, more snow, will be falling into the mountains, adding to the late season snowpack. Then by Sunday morning, this is by 6 a.m. Sunday, high pressure is centered over Utah. Nice big area of high pressure coming in. Cool, moist air will funnel into the eastern and central United States. They're going to get cool and wet there, while the west gets warmer and drier with that high pressure ridge coming in. And if you look at temperature anomalies, you can see the dividing line right here between the cool and the warm. This is a real big warm-up. This is why we're talking about melting waters, especially in the big snowpack areas of Utah and parts of the Great Basin in the west. A lot of water coming down out of the mountains this weekend and early next week there. So this is Sunday. This is by Tuesday. Big warm-up. Look at this. This area really warming up relative to average. So some really warm spring weather arrives early next week, and this is by Wednesday. So temperatures are going to really warm up. Warmer weather spreads out in the plains. This cooler weather right here, associated with a low pressure that's going to be kind of swinging its way into California or off the coast. And what this will do, that low will, is it's going to feed instability and moisture by mid to late next week, feeding that moisture up into here. And with daytime heating, you're going to get into, well, showers and thunderstorms. This is the lightning forecast for Wednesday afternoon and evening across the western United States. So this low hanging out here causes instability, draws up moisture, and with it getting warmer, well, this is where you get into the showers and the thunderstorms that can develop as you get later into the spring season. That's a real sign of a more mature spring when we start to see this pattern. It also is good to see because it will be able to produce more opportunities for needed precipitation in the western high plains, especially places in Nebraska that are kind of missing these storms right now. Have yourself a good Wednesday. See you tomorrow.